Hello, everybody. Schooner 7 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we have the 0-3 Boston Red Sox taking on the 3-0 Oakland A's here at the Oakland Coliseum. Here is the starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Leading off, the second baseman, Dustin Peoria. Batting second, the first baseman, Kevin Yorkills. Batting third, the designated hitter, David Ortiz. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the left fielder, Manny Ramirez. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Mike Lau. Batting sixth, the right fielder, J.D. Drew. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Jason Vertek. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Coco Crisp. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Alex Cora. On the mound for the Oakland A's, it is Rich Harden. Rich Harden, 1 win, no losses, 5.2 third innings pitched, allowed 5 hits, 6 strikeouts in 3 walks. That's his current stats in the replay so far up to today. We are here at McAfee Coliseum, also known as the Oakland Coliseum. Gives a +2 to strikeouts and a +2 to walks. Rich is done with his opening tosses, and here's the first pitch to Dustin Peoria, who's batting a 167. And that's going to be a 3-4. That's going to be a strike plus. That's going to add 12. That's a 16. The 20 is too high. Go over to Dustin. That's going to be a 1-4. That's going to be a pop up to the third baseman, Barton. All right, next up, David Yorkills. That's going to be a 1-1. That's going to be a walk plus. We add 12. That's a 22. That's a 12. And they walk Kevin. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, David Ortiz, batting a 250. Strategy role is a 9, and infield is at double play depth. That's going to be a 4-5. That's going to be a range play at the Coliseum. And that's going to be a 4-2. That's going to be a ground ball to the third base. Over to Hanahan. Hanahan's range is on a 1-3. That's a 3, and they got it. Now let's see if we get the double play. Roll equal to or less than. That's a 2. Big Poppy's ground double play rating is a 3, and they turn the double play. To end the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Oakland A's. Leading off, the second baseman, Mark Ellis. Batting second, the first baseman, Derek Barton. Batting third, the designated hitter, Aaron Cunningham. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the left fielder, Jack Cust. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Emil Brown. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Goria Petty. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Kurt Suzuki. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Jack Hanahan. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Chris DeForia. On the mound for the Boston Red Sox, it is John Lester. John Lester, 1 loss, has a 6.0 ERA, pitched 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks in the current That's his current stance for the replay so far. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 4-4. That's going to be a strike. Mark Ellis batting a 375. That's a 10. That's a 15. The 15 is too high. That's going to be 3-4. That's going to be a fly ball over to Ramirez for out number 1. Derek Barton batting a 111. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-3. That's going to be a double question mark. Double star and a 1-7. The 16 is too high. That's going to be 5-6. That's going to be a fly ball out to Coco Crisp, who goes back and makes the catch. 2 outs. Aaron Cunningham. And that's going to be 2-5. That's going to be a strike. That's an 18. The 20 is too high. That's going to be 6-1. That's going to be a double past Ramirez. And Cunningham gets on with a double. Jack Cusp coming in. Strategy rolls a 14. Runner on second. 2 outs. 4-1 at the Coliseum. So we're going to go to Oakland Coliseum for this one. 1-4. That's a double star 5. Fly ball out there to Coco Crisp for out number 2 to end the inning. So after 1, scores tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. It is Manny, Mike, and JD due up for the Boston Red Sox. Here's the pitch to Manny Ramirez, batting a 125. And that's going to be a 1-3. That's going to be a walk. That's a 18. That's a 6. And they walk Ramirez. All right, Mike Lau up. Strategy rolls a 4. Infield going to double play depth. And that's going to be a 5-3. That's going to be a double star. Fly ball out there to DeForna for out number 1. I was going to say out number 2. That's out number 1. Infield still at double play depth. Strategy rolls a 3. The Bo Sox are holding off on strategy. Andrew Drew steps up. 1-3. That's a walk. That's an 18. That's a 15. And they walk Drew. All right, we have a pickoff attempt. We have a 20. Rich does not pick anyone off, but as I've been doing throughout this replay, I've always been showing that number off, so we'll continue to show it. 13 for that. 4-5 range play at the Coliseum. Jason Vartek batting a 111, and that's going to be a 6-4. That's a ground ball to second base to Ellis. Ellis's range is in a 1-4. That's a 6. That got by him. All right, let's see if we have any how the runners move. We're going to start with Manny Ramirez. Ramirez was on second. He goes to third on that. But does he get home? Let's see. That's hit to second base. We're going to deal with Ramirez first. He will advance on a 2-6, and that's a 2, so he scores. And now let's take a look here at JD Drew. Drew has a 3 for his BR, and he was on first, so he goes to second. Does he get the extra base? Yes, on a 3-6. So runners now on the corners for the Boston Red Sox as they take 1. And they're going to bring the corners in. Coco Crisp due up. Runners on first and third. Strategy rolls a 14. And that's going to be a 6-6. That is a home run. That is a 5. That's a 5. And Coco Crisp knocks one out of here past the wall. It is a 3-run home run for Boston here in the top of the second. And Coco Crisp drives in a 3-run home run for the Boston Red Sox. 4-0 at the top of the second. We now go to Alex Cora. All right, Cora. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-6. That's going to be a blank. And that's going to be a 5-4. That's a ground ball to first for out number 2. Let's see if Rich can recover from that. We go to the top of the order. Dustin Peoria now up 0 for 1. And that's going to be a 4-4. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 6. The 16 is too high. 4-3, question mark 7. That's a 20. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to Cust to end the inning. So 4 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Amir, Goria, and Kurt due up for Oakland. Neil Brown batting a .091 average so far in the replay. 4-2, that's going to be a blank. And that's going to be a 3-3. Fly ball out there to Ramirez for out number 1. Petty now up. He's batting a .333 average. And that's going to be a 5-2. That's going to be a strike. That's a 22. That's a 17. And they struck him out. Kurt Suzuki, a .273 average. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 5-6. That's going to be a blunt. That's going to be a strike. Kurt has an 8. The 9 over by 1. 5-6 ground ball to second base to end the inning. No runs. No. Easy inning. 3 up, 3 down. Boston retires them in order. No runs, no hits, no errors for Oakland. After 2, it's Boston 4, Oakland nothing. Top of the third, it is Kevin, David, and Manny due up for Boston. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-5. That's going to be a strikeout plus. That's a 23. That's a 9. And they struck him out looking. Got him out looking. And here comes Big Papi. David Ortiz, 0 for 1. And that's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a range play. And that's going to be a 1-1. That is a double star 4. That's a fly ball out there to Brown. Brown's range is on a 1-4. That's a 4. And they got him. Had to go all the way back almost to the warning track to get that one there. Next up, Manny Ramirez walked and a run scored. 2 outs. 5-1. Possible error on a ground ball. And that's going to be a 4-2. That's a fly ball out. So even and Oakland returns the favor, retiring Boston in order. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Jack, Chris, and Mark due up for Oakland. Jack Hanahan batting a .364 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-3. That's going to be a strike plus. That's a 25. That's a 3. And they struck him out looking. Chris DeForia batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-1. That's going to be a strike. That's a 15. That's a 10. And they struck him out. So 2 out. We go to the top of the order. Mark Ellis. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That'd be a 1-2. That's a strike. That's a 10. The 13 is too high. And that's going to be a 2-3. That's going to be a double. And Mark Ellis gets on with a double past Ramirez up there. And that is going to bring up Derek Barton batting 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 9. Here's the pitch. 1-4. Strike. That's an 11. And they struck him out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 stranded. After 3, Boston 4, Oakland nothing. We go to the top of the 4th. It is Mike, JD, and Jason due up for Boston. Mike Lowe, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 4-1. That's going to be a possible error. And that's going to be a 2-2. That's a single past DeForia. DeForia's range is a 0, so he has no error rating. That's a 12. And Mike Lowe gets on base with a single. All right. Infield at double play depth, J.D. Drew. A walk and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 7. So Boston holding off. And we have a 2-5. That's possible error on a throw. We'll see 6-1. Fly ball out there to DeForia for out number 2. For out number 1. Infield goes still at double play depth. Strategy rolls a 16. Blue Sox holding off. Jason Vartek, 1 for 1. Run. Has a run and an RBI scored. 4-4. That's a strike. That's an 18. That's a 16. And they struck him out. And that's going to bring up Coco Crisp. Last time up, he had a home run. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-4. That's going to be a blank. Strategy rolls a 2, by the way, so they're still holding off. 6-6. Fly ball out there to DeForia. And they leave 1 stranded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Aaron, Jack, and Emil due up for Oakland. Aaron Cunningham, 1 for 1 with a double. And that's going to be a 6-4. That's going to be a possible error on a ground ball. And that's going to be a 2-1. That is out there to Lowe. Lowe's error rating is on a 1-6. That's a 20. No error. For out number 1. Jack Cust, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-3. That's going to be a strikeout plus. That's a 29 because we add 12. That's a 12. And he struck him out looking. Emil Brown, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-3. That's going to be a question mark. Single and a 1-10. The 17. 17's too high. Outside of the range of the double question mark. 3-6. Pop up to Cora. To the shortstop. No runs. And they retire him in order once again. No runs, no hits, no errors. Boston taking them down in order. Here we go. After 4. Boston 4. Oakland nothing. No run, and is Alex, Dustin, and Kevin due up for Boston. And Rich can face 7 more batters. And that's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a range play. And that's going to be a 5-5. That's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. And that's going to go to Harden. Harden's range is in a 1-3. That's a 6. And a gut by him. And Barton goes on base. All right, we go to the top of the order. Dustin Peoria, 0 for 2. Strategy rolls a 14. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. 1-2. Blank. Not tired yet. And that's going to be a 3-4. That's going to be a ground ball to Hanahan. Hanahan, let's see, that is a 4. That is a double play. And they got him. 2 out. And that is a quick double play. That is a 5-4-3 double play on that one. Hanahan tosses it over to Ellis, and Ellis quickly tosses that over to Barton for the double play. That's going to bring up Kevin Yorkis. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 5-1. That's going to be an possible error on a ground ball. And that's going to be a 4-4. That's a double star 1. Fly ball out there to Cusp to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Gregoria, Kurt, and Jack due up for Oakland. All right, here's the pitch. Gregoria batting 0 for 1, 1-1. That's going to be a walk. That's an 11. The 14 is too high. 6-2. That is a single. And the shortstop gets on base with a single. And that's going to bring up Kurt Suzuki. He's 0 for 1. Strategy rolls a 4. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-3. That's going to be a question mark. Single at a 1-10. That's a 15. The 15 is too high. 6-6. That's a single past Ramirez. And let's see, that is a single there. Gregoria does not advance. That's a -2 to his BR. Excuse me, -2 to his BR rating. That's a 0. That's a 3. And so he gets the whole sign. And next up, it's going to be Jack Hanahan. He's 0 for 1. Strategy rolls a 3. Infield at normal depth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 5-3. That's going to be a possible error on a throw. And that's going to be a 6-2. Ground ball to first. And And Yorkill's error rating is on a 1 to 3. So if it was in a 1 to 3, that would have been no error. Cora's error rating is on a 1 to 7. No throw error there. It's outside of Yorkill's error rating to catch. One base error. And one out. Petty. Let's see. It's thrown out at third. Cora takes it, gets it over to low, and throws that over to Yorkos, who makes the miss on that. So it's a ground ball to Cora. Cora takes it, throws it over to Lowe for the out there. And Lowe throws it over to Yorkos, who makes the miss on that. Overshoots it on that. So that's going to bring up DeForia is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Strategy roll is a 13 infield at double play depth. And that's going to be a 6-5. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 15. That's a 3. And they struck him out. We go to the top of the order. Mark Ellis up. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-4. That's going to be a double star. No, I'm sorry. That's a blank. 6-2. Question mark 8 on a 2. That's going to be a single. It's a single on a 1 to 5. So let's see. Does Oakland get any extra bases here? Kurt Suzuki has a 6 that is hit up there to Chris. Chris gives it a +2. So Suzuki was on second. He goes to third. And if the roll is less than, of course. And that's going to score there. And Hanahan's going to advance to third. So 2 outs, runners on the corners. And Oakland now makes this a 3-run game. Derek Barton up 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Strategy rolls a 1. They're going to infield at normal depth. Here's the pitch. 1-4, strike. That's an 11. That's a 7. And they struck him out. No, we don't on that one. So no, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. That was not a pitching error. That was a error out there. That's going to bring up after 5, Boston 4, Oakland 1. We go to the top of the 6. It is Ortiz, Manny, and Mike due up for Boston. Rich can face 4 more batters. David Ortiz 0 for 2. And that's going to be a 4-6. That's going to be a blank. And that's going to be a 1-5. That's going to be a fly ball out there to DeForia for out number 1. Manny Ramirez 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-4. That's going to be a range play. And that's going to be a 6-3. Ground ball to Barton. Barton's range is on a 1 to 2. That's a 2, and that's out number 2. Otherwise, that would have been a double for that. Mike Lowe, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 4-1. That's going to be a possible error. And that's going to be a 1-5. Ground ball to second base to Ellis. Ellis's range is on a 1-2. That's an 11. No error on that. So we now no run, and they retire them in order. Oakland retires Boston in order. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Aaron, Jack, and Emil due up for Oakland. Aaron Cunningham, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. That's going to be 1-6. That's going to be a possible error. And that's going to be a 5-5. That's going to be a pop-up to second base. Peoria's error rating is on a 1-2. The 17 is outside. No error. And that's going to bring up Jack Cusp. 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-1. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 19. That's a 17. And they struck him out. Emil Brown, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 5-2, strikeout. That's a 13. That's a 9. That's a 13. The 13 is too high. And that's going to be a 4-6. That's going to be a double star. Fly ball out there to Drew to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for as Boston retires Oakland in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the set after 6. It's Boston 4, Oakland 1. Top of the 7th, it is JD, Jason, and Coco due up for Boston. Rich Harden can face one more batter. They're going to leave him out there. They want to see what he can do. And that's going to be a 6-5. That's a strikeout. That's an 11. That's a 3. And they struck him out. All right. Rich is tired now. And that's going to bring up Jason Vartek. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-3. That's going to be a question mark. Double star on a 1 only. That's a 19. 4-1. That's a single pass Cusp. And Jason is on base. And with that, the Oakland is making that call to the bullpen. And they are going to bring in, we have switch and a left coming up. So let us see. They're going to bring in Dallas Barden to pitch. Dallas Barden, let's take a look at his stats. 5 wins, 4 losses, has a 4.14 ERA, 71.23 innings pitched, allowed 77 hits, 41 strikeouts, and 23 walks. And let's take a look here at Rich's stats. He pitched 6 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 home run. ERA of 3.0. All right. Warms up a little bit, and he is good to go. Coco Crisp, he's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be 4-2. That's a range play. And that's going to be a 1-1. That is a single past Euphoria. Rangers on a 1-3. That's a 2. He got it. All right. And that is going to bring up Alex Cora. 1 for 2. Strategy rolls a 10. Infield at normal depth. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Runner on first. 4-6. Strike. That's a 6. That's an 11. The 11 is too high. And that's going to be 6-5. That's a double star 1. Fly ball out there to Euphoria for out number 3. Sing, take me out to the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Gregoria, Kurt, and Jack due up. John Lester can face 3 more batters before he's tired. They are going to leave him in for this inning. He's still good. 3-1. That's a strikeout. That's a 22. That's a 7. And they struck him out. Next up, Kurt Suzuki, 1 for 2 in today's game. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-5. That's going to be a strike. That's an 8. The 13 is too high. And that's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a single. And that is a single for Kurt as he gets on base. They're going to bring the infield in. It is a hit and run. All right. Hit and run for Jack Henning, and he's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 4-5. That's a strikeout. That's a 15. That's a 9. And they struck him out. And with that, that's a 12. Kurt trying to steal second. That's a 12. The 12 is higher, and they got him. And they got the double play, and they got him out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 7, it is Boston 4, Oakland 1. Let's take a look real quick at the box score. So, in this exciting game, Boston scoring 4 runs in the 2nd inning, Oakland scoring 1 run in the 5th inning, and that is where we stand after 7. It is Dustin, Kevin, and Ortiz due up for Boston. Dallas is still good. They're going to leave him in. Here's the pitch to Dustin. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a 3-2. That's going to be a possible error on a ground ball. And that's going to be 6-3. That's a single as Dustin gets on with a single. All right, next up, Kevin Yorkills. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 5-1. 5-1 is a blank. 3-5, question mark 7. That's a 20. And that's a fly ball out there to Cusp, who sees it, waves off everyone else, looks up, plop, right into his glove. 1 out, runner on first, infield at double play depth. That's going to bring up David Ortiz. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-4. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 10. That's a 6. And they struck him out. And that 1 out, 2 outs, runner on first. And that's going to bring up Manny Ramirez, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-6. That's going to be a walk. That's an 8. The 18. Tad too high. That's going to be a 5-4 for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Boston leaves 1 stranded as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Chris, Mark, and Derek and Barton due up for Boston. And Boston is going to make a pitching change here. John Lester, 7 innings. We have a right coming up. And they're going to bring in Mike Temlin to pitch. Mike Temlin's coming in. 4 wins, 4 losses, 1 save, 5.66 ERA, 49.13 innings pitched, allowed 60 hits, 32 strikeouts, and 16 walks. Chris DeForia is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-2. 2-2 is a blank. And that's going to be a 3-6. 3-6 is a single. All right, we go to the top of the order. Mark Ellis. Here's the pitch. He's 2 for 3. And that's going to be a 3-4. That's going to be a possible error. And that's going to be a 6-4. That is a double star 3. Fly ball out there to Drew. Drew's error rating would be on a 1 to 5. That's a 15. Out number 1. Runner on first. Infield at double play depth. Derek Barton, 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. 4-5. Walk. That's a 14. That's a 19. Too high. 1-1. Ground ball to second. And that is going to be off a fielder's choice. So on a 6, the play only happens at first. So Chris goes to second. And the out is at first. 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Aaron Cunningham. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-3 at the ballpark. We go to the Coliseum. 3-2. Double star 3. Fly ball out there to Drew to end the inning. No run. No runs, no hits, 1 hit, no errors. And that is going to bring up, we go after 8, Boston 4, Oakland 1. Let's take a look at the box score real quick here. After 8 innings of play, Boston has 4 runs, and they scored all 4 runs in the 2nd inning. Oakland managed to come back in the 5th inning to score 1 run. So that is where we stand right now. They're going to leave Dallas in. Here's the pitch. That's going to bring up Mike Lowe. He's 1-for-3, 1-5. Strikeout. That's an 8. 18 too high. And that's going to be a 6-6. That's going to be a double star. Fly ball out there to Cust for out number 1. Andrew Drew, 0-for-2. The right fielder. Here's the pitch. They're gonna leave him in. 4-2 range play. And that's gonna be a 5-6. Pop up to first base. Barton's range is on a 1-2. And that's a 2. He made it. And we go now to Jason Vertek. 2-for-3. Here's the pitch. 1-1. Possible error on a throw. 6-3. Ground ball to first. Barton's range is on a 1-9. That's a 3. And that is a 2-base error. That is a 2-base error for that. Barton gets on, Vertek goes to second on that safe on an error by the first baseman. Coco Crisp, 1-for-3. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-5. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 15. The 19 is too high. 2-4. Ground ball back to the pitcher for out number 3. Takes it, tosses it over to York Hills for the out. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Jack Emile and Petty and Gregoria due up. But as we know, no lead is safe. And Oakland finds some 9th inning magic. That's going to do it for Mike. They're going to bring in their closer, Jonathan. So Jonathan is 5 wins, 4 losses, 41 saves, 2.34 ERA, 69.1 third inning pitch to lead, 58 hits, 77 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Here's the pitch. The Jack, they're not going to let Jack hit to him. So they are pulling Jack, and they're going to have Robert Bowen, the catcher, come in to hit. Here's the pitch. We're going to try to get him on base. 6-2 range play at the Coliseum. 5-6 ground ball to first for out number 1. Grounded out to first. Emil Brown. Here's the pitch. Is 0-for-3. And that's going to be a 4-3. That's going to be at the Coliseum. And that's going to be a 3-1. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to Drew for out number 2. Oakland down to its last out. Gregoria Petty up. Here's the pitch. 2-1. Strike. That's a 22. That's a 17. And Boston gets their first win of the replay. Struck him out. And the game is over. Boston gets a win finally here in Oakland with a final score 4-1. Final line score coming right up. All right, what a game here. Boston getting their first win of the season. And let's take a look here at the final line score. Boston, 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Oakland, 1 run on 7 hits and 1 error. John Lester draws the win. Rich Harden gets the loss. And Jonathan gets the save. Let's take a look here. John Lester went 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts in this game. 3.47 ERA. The save to Jonathan gets the save, pitched 1 inning and had 1 strikeout. Rich Harden, who got the loss, pitched 6 1/3 inning, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run, ERA of 3.0. John Lester's ERA is 3.47. As for home runs in this game, Coco Crisp hit the only home run in this game. And that is going to do it for us here in Oakland. If you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up as you exit through the turnstiles safely from the Coliseum. And we will see you next time for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, I'm Scooty 007. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.